we'll cover the story that Nana wanted to discuss, because this one has evolved a lot since then, but we'll cover the original story and then we can go into the updates afterwards. So, do we know who Sven Vinky is? The
Nope.
CEO
Yes.
of Larian Studios.
Okay.
Right.
The people who made Baldur's Gate.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
Okay.
the people
okay.
and Divinity, the new Divinity game. So, I'm just going to come back to this. Pylord says, bad jokes is all I have to contribute.
Good.
And it's a
Keep them
great
coming.
contribution. Keep them
Yeah.
coming. That's what she said. So, Larian Studios CEO Sven Vinky has clarified the developer's position on using AI in its creative process following the backlash to a recent interview with Bloomberg. Oh boy. Mention AI and a lot of people go absolutely insane.
Yeah.
In a post to social media, Venki said Larian is, quote, not replacing concept artists with AI, and the developer uses it to, quote, explore things. I didn't say that we use it to develop concept art. The artists do that. We use AI tools to explore references, just like we use Google and art books. At the very early ideation stages, we use it as a rough outline for composition, which we replace with original concept art. There is no comparison. He concluded, we've hired creatives for their talent, not their ability to do what a machine suggests, and they can experiment with these tools to make their lives easier. So in the original interview, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier wrote about how Larian has been pushing hard on generative AI. He noted that Larian uses AI tools to explore ideas, flesh out PowerPoint presentations, develop concept art, and write placeholder text. Schreier has since shared the rough transcript of his conversation with Vinky, so people can see all the context and judge for themselves if they feel Larian's position was misrepresented. In the transcript, Venki said that using AI tools speeds production up as it allows for broader experimentation. Quote, it's not as if their dialogues are suddenly being written faster, he said. On the contrary, it's not as if you're seeing scripting going faster. What's happening is there's more stuff being done. You still have to alter it yourself. So Schreier pointed out that he didn't that didn't seem efficient, to which Vinky replied, this is a tech-driven industry, so you try stuff. You can't afford not to try things, because if someone finds the golden egg and you're not using it, you're dead in this industry. Towards the end of the excerpt, Schreier noted the downsides to generative AI, such as it being poisonous, controversial to players, to artists, and to creative people in a way that other tech isn't. Vinky responded, if you would find the same argument back in the day for a lot of, I think you would find the same argument for a lot back in the day for a lot of things. Part of this job is to make sure that you are competitive and state of the art. If you don't look at the state of the art, you will eventually regret it. That's going to be even worse for developers.
Yeah.
This has also evolved in the fact that Vinky has gone on to Twitter to continue this dialogue, basically saying how he was misquoted, mistranslated, or anything as such, even to the point where he's come out and said, we're shutting down the studio for the Christmas period soon, but once we come back after the holiday period, we are going to do a live Q&A about this. So he wants to lay all the cards out on the table, basically, about how Larian uses generative AI in their creative process.
It's all right to get ideas and stuff, I guess, but just when they're using it in the games and just getting rid of people to do so, it's just not right. I think CD Projekt Red developers will come out and say that the next Witcher games will not be using AI models or anything at all, kind of thing. That they're all going to be made by people as such, right? Which is a good thing to come out and say, but it's just the way the industry is going to go, though, isn't it? If they can save costs and things using AI, it's going to happen, unfortunately.
Admittedly, every industry is using some form of generative AI at the moment. Like, my brother's told me that he's had meeting transcripts transcribed by AI, and he absolutely loved it because he didn't have to do it himself, and it was that's fine. Like, I've I wouldn't say I've used it myself, but I've had meetings that have been recorded and then had AI translations had in there to transcribe as well. It's not for me. I'd rather someone human do it. But I do understand the trend in the industry, and like with all industries, that if you're going to save some cost and save manpower to then focus on the more important things.
Yeah,
fine.
it's gonna happen. Isn't it?
It's gonna happen. I don't have to feel good about it.
No.
But yeah, I mean, if it's a tool, that's all it should be used for. Like,
Yeah.
if it is true what he's saying, that actually they use it like in the source of in the sense of a Google search rather than a Google search, fine. But when it comes to the creative process, it shouldn't be used.
No.
But now there is go on, Brent. Sorry.
That they worked on Baldur's Gate, which is based on D&D, and Hasbro's gotten in a lot of trouble lately for using AI art for their D-book.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
So Nana, as the resident artist here, go on, Mike. Sorry.
That's a very valid point when he's saying about like the technology, and that if you're not using it yourself, you are going to fall behind. And the thing is that does seem to it does send ripples through the industry, in the sense that this is not a new thing. Now, I don't mean like AI, but like technology in general. If you're not using the latest technology to move yourself forward, you are always going to fall behind. And this is also including like in the likes of war, when the firearm was first created. Before, people would run around with bows, arrows, and swords. And then as soon as the gun was created, well, who's winning the wars now? Those that have got swords and shields, or those that have got guns? You know what I mean? So then, as the things sort of kind of like progress, this is the same like with this industry. Everything is AI, or they've got access to AI or AI tools, and it shouldn't be a case of it just replaces everything. They should still have someone's got to hold the gun. In this case, the artists or the developer, the creator, has still got to hold that gun and point it in the direction that they would like the game to go in. But it can't just be right. Okay, well, we've got this. It's automatic. Do it yourself kind of thing. And yeah, we don't need artists anymore. We don't need coders, and we don't need that, because this AI is going to do it for us. No, you still need the artist and whatever to create that vision first. If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah. Have you seen the state of AI art? My God, they still can't even get human anatomy correct.
They keep giving Goombas hands.
Some stuff getting really, really bad, and what it is being used for. So,
have you heard AI music? That's awful.
The worst it's going to be.
There's anatomy, and
it's only going to get better.
Oh, it will get better, because people keep feeding it into AI tools, and it's only going to improve from there. So, Nana, I know you're very outspoken about AI. So, how did this make you feel when you heard about this, and then also that Sandfall used a lot of AI in their game as well?
The Sandfall case is something that I'm wondering about, because apparently they got it from an asset pack, which there I'm a little bit like, you should have checked, but even then it's like, I prototype stuff like that, so it's like I at least understand.
Yeah. Like the UE5 like asset tools that they have, or the stuff that you get like from Unity, isn't it? It's similar in that respect.
Yeah, and I still stand by the thing, for me personally, of any studio that is worth their self-respect won't use it, which does disappoint me quite a bit, but it is something that is like, yeah, it does worry me that it's gonna get worse, but at least he's trying to keep artists in the process. I have to at least respect that. I will say
Agreed,
that.
Yeah. Like, I think so long as they're still paying a good amount of artists and creative people like to do it, like I said, so long as it's a tool that's being utilized, like if they can do that, but then make sure that like in the concept phase, fine, but then like in actuality in the full game, like it's fully made by an artist, then you can't argue with that, really. as long as all the creative
Yeah.
work itself is done by the artists and the creative people. But if a game's made solely out of AI, then yeah, I've got problems.
I don't agree
Yeah.
with the argument that you have to use this new technology to keep up. I think of like, I guess a good example would be like food. Everybody switched to high fructose corn syrup because it was cheaper. Now people are like, oh, I don't want that. I want real sugar.
Hmm.
It costs more. And there are plenty of companies that are able to thrive by using that because they feel like it's a better ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of consumers willing to pay the premium for that better ingredient. So I think future, that's exactly what we're going to see. We're going to see some studios commit to no AI. They may have to charge more for their games because of having to pay more people. There'll be people that still buy it, but they believe that.
True.
And you'll
Yeah.
have people who use AI make a game cheaper, and there'll be people who still buy that too, just because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's more important to people. But
Mhm.
I think both sides can really just at the same. I don't think it's a one or other situation they're making it out to.
Yeah, I think that's true there.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Not necessarily one or the other, but it is, you got to keep up with the times, you got to keep up with the trends and everything. I mean, it's like for now, for example, you're saying about food, like pistachio. Now, pistachio is a nut that we've all had maybe at some time in our lives or whatever, but now it's got to be in absolutely bloody everything. From donuts to coffees to this to that to pastries to desserts to absolutely anything. And it's like, oh, we're onto this, and this is or Dubai chocolate.
Dubai chocolate. I was going to say exactly the same. Yeah.
Dubai chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was the trend of the year.
hello. And it's like, okay, like, everyone will ride this wave. And then once that goes, well, then we move on to the next trend and whatever. And now this, for example, AI, it could also be a trend. It could be this thing like, everyone really, really get on board with this, because if not, we're going to get left behind. And then it'll the ship will sail and it'll move on to the next big thing. Ourselves, we've all been on YouTube, we've all done, content creation in one way or another. And there's a lot of times where you think, what if I just did that little video that says, oh, if I use this audio instead of, editing for hours, if I just use this audio, I'm going to get millions of views from my video. And it's like, do I jump on that or not?
Lots of people doing shorts videos, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the problem, is that companies are looking at this going, we can save like millions of dollars. Like, if if people are only buying 2 million copies of the game, like at $70 or 70 quid, if we can save X amount, then we're going to do it, and we're going to save to a year or so of development time and cost.
That's it. That's it, isn't it? It's development time more than anything. It's we can save time. How long did it used to be? Back in the day when it was like coming out with developers were creating games like every year or every 2 years.
Yeah,
And now it's 7, 8 years of development, because development does take a long time with these visuals and everything, and making it the next state of the art, whatnot, quadruple A games. And it's like but to do that, you need to have the resources, and that takes time. And it's like, well, if we've got AI, that's going to help reduce some of that time. But you shouldn't, completely like say, well, we're just going to use AI now, and like, okay, so 50% of the staff we're going to, cut off. No, you still need somebody to, hold the wheel while you're trying to, drive this forward.
And they cancel it anyway.
Yeah.
we got full circle back to Perfect Dark.
Pretty much.
Amazing.
You just summed that up perfectly, Golney. Yeah.
All right, I think
Been
we've
very
had
blunt today. Sorry.
No, you're good. We like it. It's fine. Right.